there. Hi friends. Welcome to the New Year's Eve version of SusanCanCreate. Tonight I'm doing a dinner party. It's a formal affair. It's a sit-down dinner, and it is all for New Year's Eve. There's going to be about 6 people, 3 couples, and they all know each other very well, so that makes it very nice. It makes it pleasant. I know they get along quite well. I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday, and that you had, whatever kind of holiday you celebrate, Christmas or whatever. Hope all your holidays were good. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the tablescape I have for the New Year's Eve. I started out with this lovely, it's like a vinyl placemat, but it's very, very intricate in its design, and I just thought it was absolutely beautiful. Next, I placed these black charger. I found these they have like a gold trim on them. I found them online, I believe, at Amazon. Okay. Next, I used my china, one of my china sets. This happens to be, I don't know if you can see it, but it's a Nobility Prestige. And this china set, my mother insisted when I was 16 years old that I needed to have a set of china. And therefore she insisted that I get them and put them in my quote unquote hope chest, which I never, not really a chest, I don't know what it was, but she insisted that I get them, and she let me pick out what I wanted, and I was very happy about that. And then I had to work to pay them off. I'm very glad, although I only got a setting for 6 with this china, so I don't get to use it as often as I'd like. But at the time, it just seemed like that was all that I could work for and get. But I'm very glad she did it. Next, I put the black linen. These are black linen napkins that I have folded over, and I put that right there in the center. And next comes the little, it's not really a salad plate, it's more like a bread plate. And the matching bowl. And inside that, as I think I told you in my intro, but I mentioned it again in the video, but I bought these gold napkin rings, and I really wanted to use them, but I couldn't, because I couldn't figure out how. I like the napkin just as it is. So I decided to put it there. I decided to put a little tea light inside of it, and that lights it up, and it really makes a very, very elegant little touch to it. Then of course I add the silverware, and using the finger again as a measurer, knife blade goes in, then goes the spoon. Okay, next goes the fork. The dinner fork always goes towards the entree fork goes towards next to the plate, and then salad fork, and then it would go down, whatever kind of other forks you might have. And then I added, let me pull this up just a little bit. I added it can be a wine goblet, it can be an ice water goblet, whatever you want. I love my black crystal. I bought that the same time as I bought the other things here, the other china, and there's a wine goblet. And that pretty much is the whole set for place setting for the New Year's Eve party. As a hostess, the best thing is if you can, get to know the people that are coming. If you know any of their likes or their dislikes, or, allergies or anything like that, will make it a whole lot easier for the menu planning and just for the dinner to go smoothly. I began, this is going to be, in the beginning, the people are just going to be walking around, talking, visiting, and milling around in different rooms. And so what I did is I set up a charcuterie tray, and as an appetizer, and I put it in the front entry, and I also set up a wine bar, self-serve wine bar that also has bottled water, because not everybody wants a drink. Bottled water is great. Sometimes, you know, you may have a glass of wine, maybe you want to have a switch to water after that. So I always have bottled water available for people too. I chose the charcuterie tray because it's the safest. Basically, when for a New Year's Eve party, a lot of times they'll serve like shrimp cocktail or some warm, wonderful, ooey gooey type of appetizer. And that's great. I love them too. But when people are up and walking around, I really try to think of different things, because I'll tell you, there's nothing that will stain a shirt or sequins or whatever they're wearing, because they're wearing formal, faster than a shrimp cocktail. Because those little darlings, you know, they usually have moisture on them. They're, you know, because if they're really cold and they're sitting out, then they get a little bit of wetness to them. And you dip it into the sauce, the cocktail sauce, and by the time you get that sucker from the plate to your mouth, part of that sauce is usually slid off the shrimp and it's landed somewhere that you don't want it to. So if you're having a sit-down party and appetizers, you want to serve that like as an appetizer, that's great. Love shrimp cocktail myself, but I don't do it when people are walking around, nor do I do anything that's hot. And the reason I don't do anything that's hot, because for the same reason. If you're walking around and trying to manage the food too, it's easy for that to drip down on your shirt. Now, a lot of times in formal affairs, the women don't have, you know, the neckline's lower, or there's some, you know, more skin showing there. Well, if that hot cheese drops down or whatever that is, you know, that can also cause a burn. And I'm not going there. So I do a charcuterie tray, and you'll see that in the video. And it's, I explain it in the video, so I'll wait for that, for you to see that. But it's one of the safest, and it's usually, you know, people really like it a lot. So, and they don't fill up on it, so which is another good thing. What I'm serving tonight for basically the first course is a salad. It's a winter salad. It is consists of spinach and pomegranate, and it's just a lovely salad. It's got other things in it, but it's a lovely salad for wintertime, and to start goes well with the main course. And the main course are scallops. They are going to be pan-seared scallops in butter and herbs. And if you're a new hostess or a novice cook, scallops aren't the thing to start with. Not unless you practice the heck out of them, because they look pretty innocent. They look like they ought to be easy, right? They're just these little round, plump, white discs of scallops or fish. But the cooking is the tricky part on them, because they will overcook in a heartbeat. And if you overcook them, then you have little rubber hockey pucks to serve your people, you know, and you don't want to do that. Like I said, scallops are just not the thing if you're a novice, not unless you're going to practice the heck out of them, and it's pretty expensive to practice on. So I would start with something else besides scallops. Along with the scallops, I'm serving glazed carrots, and I am also I've made it's like a potato au gratin, but it's in like a cake form. It looks like a round, like a salmon cake or something along those lines. And I love these potatoes like that. And it's easy you can make them up ahead of time. And it's a good thing to serve with the scallops. Along with that, for the dessert, now the dessert I went kind of fancy, and so it's simple, but it's elegant. I'm doing poached pears, vanilla poached pears actually, and Godiva chocolate, and they're just lovely. Along with, when it comes to around midnight, the countdown, the celebration and everything, of course the dinner will be over, and so I'm going to bring out a tray of chocolate covered strawberries to go along with the champagne that we're going to serve, because I wanted to have something there also to just a little something to go along with the champagne. And that should wrap up the night. That should be pretty fun. From that point on, everybody will be pretty much tired and ready. As soon as it's over, we're all kind of the age. It's like, okay, fine, kind of ready to go. So that's good. It'll be good food, good friendship, good conversation. What more could you ask for a dinner party? A successful one. That's it. Hi, well, we're going to start in the entry. Since this is a New Year's Eve party and it's more of a formal event, I am serving hors d'oeuvres, appetizers, and I have them all set out on this side table in the entry, because this is the area people kind of mill around in, is this area. So let me show you what I have set up here on the table. First of all, I've got wine glasses set out there. Wine, water, either one, whatever they'd like to have. And what I'd like to show you is, okay, and these water goblets, what I wanted to talk about with those are, I put little indicators on each one, and you can get these in all kinds of themes, and put it on so your guests, when they arrive, they can pick up a water glass or wine glass, and they know which one's theirs, so they aren't all just getting new ones each time because they can't remember where they put their glass, or if that even was their glass. So those are just some handy little tips. And like I said, you can get them to match any theme you want. Now viewing the rest of the table, I have the wine glasses out, I have some napkins, I have the plates in the back. You can see those plates, and these plates are interesting. And I was glad I found them. I have used them multiple times for parties, and they work excellent, especially if you have guests that are walking around with food. If you don't have, if it's, say it's wine and cheese, or it's whatever kind of, it's not the sit down meal, it's appetizers, standing and going around the room and talking to people. But let me show you this. Okay, these are the plates, and what they have is a cutout in them, and maybe you know about these, maybe you didn't, but I've used them for years and I love them. They have the wine glass goes right in there. So now they can put food on here, and they can walk around with their drink and the plate in one hand and eat and then drink, whatever they'd like to do, and it's fairly safe. I've never had anybody drop any of it yet, and it just makes it really handy, because otherwise they got a plate in one hand, glass in the other hand, and how are they supposed to eat? So they look around someplace to set it down. They usually set it down on your nice furniture somewhere. So go ahead and, you can find these online. That's why I found them. And like I said, it was years ago, but I'm sure they've still got something like that. But they are wonderful for this type of party. All right, so let's go over the food. These are the hors d'oeuvres that I'm gonna put out. This is a charcuterie tray I've made here, along with a couple other, the dough bowl has some crackers and various things in them. But what I've got out there is, like I said, the dough bowl has sea salt crackers and these rainforest crackers that have some fruits in them and nuts. They're really, really good, and they hold up well to anybody trying to put something on them. They don't crumble. Okay, then I have on the big board. The big board has some prosciutto. It has 4 different kinds of cheeses, some smoked cheddar, some Gouda. This cheese is called from the sea cheese, it's called. And there's other kinds on there. There's some wine cranberry cheese and a blue cheese in the back. I also added for the meats, again, you have prosciutto, you've got salami, you've got ham, and in the jar there's some salmon candy. So, and then I also put on there some fruit. There's some apricots and a bowl of marinated olives and feta cheese. And then on the other, behind it, behind it, let me see if I can get a better shot of the one behind it. Okay, behind it, there is a wooden tray there, and it also has some more fruit. It has some grapes and it has some blackberries. And then it has a jar of candied pecans. And then there's 4 jars there with different, and I leave them in the jar. They're different sauces. One's a mustard, one's a sour cherry, one's a peach, and one's a caramelized onion. I leave them in the jar so people can see what it is what they're eating. If they're just out in a bowl, they get a little confused sometimes and don't know. They won't try it because they don't know for sure. So I leave them right in the jar with the label on so they can see what it is. On the side of the charcuterie board, I do have toothpicks there for them to use. There are spoons and everything for serving, but this makes just a light meal, not a meal, pre-meal, I guess. So when people are enjoying themselves and just, having a good time, talking, just all around enjoyable moment. They're eating and they're not starving waiting for dinner. Because a lot of people, when they come to my meals especially, they don't eat before they come. And so if I don't have something out, they're absolutely starving by the time dinner comes. Then on the table that's on the opposite side of the food, my little round entry table, I've set that up as just a little makeshift beverage bar, I guess. I'm serving wines tonight. I happen to know that these people are mostly red drinkers. I do have one white. I have it chilling in the back there, and the other chilled container in the back, I have bottled water, because you just never know. People may, and it's a large bottle, so it's shareable. People may not want wine. Maybe they just want a glass of water. So I keep that nice and chilled there. In the basket are 4 different kinds of reds. There's a Merlot. There is, a Cab, and I think there's a Syrah, and I'm not sure, can't remember the other one I put out there, but Malbec. So that's all set up so they can serve themselves, and they can be munching on the tray of food over here. They can be having a drink, and they can just be relaxing and enjoying each other's company. Okay, let's start and go over and look at the dining room here. This is New Year's Eve. I wanted to be festive, but I tend to, since this is formal dinner tonight, I wanted things to be sleek and elegant, and not a lot of decoration, just enough to make it pleasant. The main focus was on the table, because that's where most of the action is going to happen. Pieces I use, these black and gold, I guess they're vases, and in those I found these really pretty golden black feathers. They're very glittery, and they just add to that elegance of the evening. I love it when I can use my black crystal and my black rimmed dishes. They're just a favorite of mine. Again, I used my black candle stand as, actually this is a pumpkin stand, but I use it for many things. It was kind of fun. I found all those little, Happy New Year and the glittery. It wouldn't be New Year's without some sort of confetti. So I decided to use it in the Tablescape. I thought this was kind of fun. It was just an idea that popped into my head. I had the gold, the gold, white, and black theme going on there, and I had these gold napkin rings that I really liked, and I had thought about using these in the New Year's decorations, and then I couldn't figure out a way that I liked the napkin. I liked it underneath the dishes, so therefore I can't use napkin ring. Well, I wanted to use the napkin ring, so I thought, okay, I'll put a tea light in it and I'll set it in the center, and it just makes it's just a sweet little light that goes along, and it just makes that even more elegant, the place setting. Now, moving over to the fireplace, I decided not to. I always like to put something on the hearth, but this time I thought I saw these pillows with the black and the gold, and I thought this just goes along very well. So I put them on the hearth, and it's nice because I think people will actually might, like to sit on the hearth, and if they do, there's pillows for that. Up above on the shelf, I hung on both sides these little gold discs just for a little bit of fun. And then up the top, I have another black and gold artistic piece up there, decorative piece. And then in the middle, I have almost an Art Deco-y kind of look to the mirror. Then on the far side again, it's an urn jar, or and it's also black and gold, matches the other one. For the apothecary cabinet, I just left that pretty much. I put some gold little disc dangling on it, and on the top I just added another bunch of balloons. Wouldn't be New Year's without balloons, so we have 2 bunches in here, and no telling what's going to happen to those by the end of the night. On the side table, I just used a black tall vase, and I put some gilded leaves, stems on. They look like eucalyptus kind of leaves, and I just filled it with that, and then I set it on top of one of the black chargers that I have on the table, black with the gold trim, and that's all I did in this area. Let's see. Oh yeah, the answer to the riddle of the Christmas riddle. The answer is eat, E-A-T, and ate, A-T-E. That's the answer to the riddle. Okay. The next video will be my winter dinner party. It'll be coming out a week after this one. After the holidays, there's been, usually you have so many things. You're always going. There's a lot of socialization. There's a lot of things that happen. And then all of a sudden you're faced with winter, and things totally slow down then, usually. Even if you're in a warm climate, people it's kind of always a letdown after the holidays a little bit. So I plan a winter party, a dinner party, just to get together, and it's casual, it's rustic. So it'll be very easy for people, people to come to, just casual, just come, and nothing fancy with it at all. And but it's it's on, I based this theme on the movie Frozen. And I did that because my granddaughter Ava had me watching Frozen, I don't know how many times when she was little. And, you know, it's always been kind of stuck in my head somewhere. And when I came up with the idea of a winter dinner party, I don't know, I couldn't get past Frozen. So it's going to be Frozen themed from the movie, not Frozen ice Frozen. It's Frozen kind of from the movie. So that it's a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to that. So I guess that'll wrap us up for today. Please subscribe. Please subscribe and hit the like button. I would love it if you would do that. I so appreciate your time, and I am doing my very best to bring you great ideas and, you know, going all out and trying to show you what can be done, and you can do whatever version of it you like. But from my family to your family, I wish you the very best, healthy and blessed 2023, and let's all get, you know, let's all move forward and have a great one. So until next time, this is Susan, and I am gone. Bye-bye.